Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic. Parents of Reddit, how do you feel when your kid brings back a girlfriend/boyfriend? How do you decide whether you like them or not? I first met one of my kids' partners when they both joined us on a weekend away. We had a discussion on some general subject in which he disagreed with me. He defended his position rather than defer to me. Good chap. Good dad, too. I've done that with a few exes' parents and received some not so good feedback from their pops. It might be a small town thing, but I generally didn't talk to dads much at all. Moms, on the other hand, loved me. Thank you. My daughter just started dating. She was mortified when I picked them up and asked if everything was Gucci. Next time ask if they're having a you eat time. Doest work in the sentence, makes it better. And use the word fire loads. Doesn't matter if your use of it actually makes sense or not. When they interact and help out the rest of the family. When my daughter didn't understand her homework and then her sister's boyfriend helped her, it showed how much he actually cared. I like to think I would do this, but I probably wouldn't understand the homework either. Have a sibling's significant other help you. My husband and I always like the person unless there's something terribly wrong with them. First of all, we want our kids to trust us and never to disregard our not liking a potential mate because we never like anyone. Secondly, we would never want our kids to feel like they have to choose, it's their mate, not ours. Thirdly, most young people are fairly okay, so no point in acting like no one can be good enough for our precious babies. You're so reasonable. Can you parent all of us, please? FYI, I'm sure her children think she's unreasonable and horrible. Thirdly, most young people are fairly okay, so no point in acting like no one can be good enough for our precious babies. Not a parent, but a protective big brother to a little sister in her 2020s, this is one thing that has surprised me a lot. People always make jokes and comments like, oh, you must have your hands full with that one. Talking about my sister, who's objectively attractive, but she's never brought home a real a-hole. Not many guys coming into a new house would be rude to my dad and I. That's super rare. My sister's first boyfriend was an asshole. But she never knew how much we hated him. She knew we didn't like him much, but we never really told her just how despised he was until after they broke up. She was horrified that we didn't say anything, but we knew that if we had, she would have dug her heels in and stayed with him longer out of spite. So we let it run its course. She found out later that all of her friends hated him too. Some had tried to tell her, but she brushed it off. Now she is with an amazing guy that treats her like an actual human being, and I have secretly been helping said guy ring shop. Worked out for the best. My 4-year daughter introduced me to the 5-year neighbor kid as a BF. She told me he's really good at running fast and he appreciates snails as much as she does. Needless to say, this is a keeper. When's the wedding? May the 24th, Snail Day, D. I feel excited for them. It's that wonderful time at the start of a new relationship and it's exciting to see them happy and enjoying this new experience. It's still quite new for me and them, so as a parent I'm still learning. I've been fine with all the people I've been introduced to so far, maybe as I know that the likelihood is these relationships won't last, so for me it's not an issue if I don't take to them. Time will tell once their relationships become more serious. Mom, you're embarrassing me. Dad *. One kid started dating at 15. Dates all through college, never broke up and been married 8 years, so you never know. My son started dating a classmate at age 11. It was on and off like you would expect at that age, but they started officially dating at 14. They'll be 17 soon, and I'm curious to see what happens. We love her like a daughter and would hate to lose her. But that's not really my call. I said, whatever you do to my daughter, I will do to you. I've been stuck giving him emotional support and validation for 3 years. That fucking bastard. At least you haven't had to lick his asshole. Edit, to edit. Holy shit bro. He played you like a fiddle. I decided that I liked my future son-in-law when I learned that my university-aged daughter had been slacking off. I phoned her and he picked up and tried to take the bullet for her, blaming himself for distracting her. I was so impressed with his altruism that I decided I liked him right then. 12 years later she's doing her PhD and they're still together. Are you sure he wasn't just honest and helping her slack off? She was probably slacking him off. It's about respect, if she treats him right, and compatibility. On the other end, not her dad, but my girlfriend's roommate is this old grizzled marine dude. She told me that he liked me because I didn't try to get him to like, which apparently most people do. I was just myself and acted naturally, which he appreciated. Just be yourself and the people that will like you, and the people who won't. But always be respectful. You bought him a box of crayons, admit it. Nothing bribes Marines like a nice boxed lunch. She lives with a grizzled old Marine dude. Are you sure you're her boyfriend? Yeah, because he's married to her other roommate. My eldest is 15, and boys in high school can be gross. The way they speak to girls, and girls to boys, is just so far out of line it makes me ill. But her boyfriend is respectful to her and her family. Most importantly, they're the same brand of weird. They foreseat him 19 hours a day, I swear, but yesterday they had an entire conversation about penguins, both using the same weird fake Russian type accent. He's her safe place, and without very good cause, I'd never get in the way of that. That sounds very cute. Hopefully things continue to do well between them. They're fellow comrades. My daughter, 13, wanted me to meet her first real boyfriend. I was nice and pleasant, but I knew it wouldn't last cause he was all looks and no brains. Of course, as junior high relationships go, it was about a 2-month ordeal. I think all parents should try and be cordial, unless the person feels like a serial killer or something. My mother has always been accepting of everyone I've ever dated, but realistic about their faults. My family immediately welcomes them with open arms, but just warns me if they seem off for whatever reason. I think it's a decent system. This is how my mom operates. She let me make a lot of mistakes, but always told me what she saw from her perspective and her concerns. However, it always ended with, as long as you're happy, that's what matters. My parents both instantly liked the first super nerdy boy I brought home. He didn't even have to talk before my dad was beaming at him. It was weird tbh. I married the nerdy guy, so their instincts were good, so ETA, my first silver. Thank you, kind Reddit stranger fam. Right. This happened to me too. I was having some doubts early on and expressed this to my dad after he first met him. His response was, he's a nice guy, just date him. I was like, if you like him so much, Dad, why don't you date him? Sure enough, I ended up marrying the guy. Sure enough, my dad married the guy. Would have been a better ending. My stepmom is pretty nerd, so I was always nervous when my super nerdy husband and I visited. They just seemed like oil and water, with zero in common. Then one day they hung out for 4 hours together in a hospital waiting room while I underwent surgery. To this day I have no idea what they talked about, but my stepmom is now my husband's second biggest fan. She will gush about what a good guy he is for me, and how happy she is that I married him. I really wish I could have heard that conversation. He fixed her a foe. Not a parent, but my parents have talked about my boyfriends. They liked most of them, but my dad said there was one he specifically didn't like right away. I dated that guy for over a year before he cheated on me with his ex and left me for her. My dad said he didn't like that guy because he reminded him of his ex-wife who did the same thing to him. Some people just have good gut instincts. And experience. Well, my mother's decision is 90% based on if she's Catholic or not. Can't say I'm a fan of her method. Lol, same here. Gonna be a rough one when she meets my family and mom's like, gonna support my girl the whole way through though, easy decision. Edit, changed pronouns to clear up possible confusion. You know, I thought my mother would be the same way. Raised Catholic, so I expected that my wife would need to be Catholic too. Just got married to my Muslim wife last month and my mom threw her bridal shower because she loves her more than she loves me, and because the feeling was definitely not reciprocated my wife's family. People suck. My mom always said that it didn't matter what color or background as long as she was Catholic. Well, turns out that he was Catholic. Checkmate. She got over it after a while. Outstanding move. Not a parent, so I called my mom. She stated, and I quote, "I like all of them until they give me reason not to. Then I never tell you whether I like them or not, so I don't influence your own judgment. I cannot choose for you, although sometimes I wish I could. Mrs. Unappreciated son. Edit, spacing. Edit 2, yes, I'm aware that my mother appreciates me, as many pointed out, lol. It's not her that's the concern. But I appreciate you guys sticking up for my mom, even when it's not directed to her. Thank you guys for pointing it out, hopefully this fixes it. Edit 3, your asterisk. I like your mom, dude. Calm down bro, she's married. My stepdaughter's boyfriend came into my house and we were talking about computer games, and he had the audacity to tell me why Red Dead 2 was better than God of War. In my house. But respect to the lad for that, he stuck to his principles and a year later still argues with me about gaming stuff. You should have started calling him boy in your best Kratos voice. Nothing asserts dominance like a good Kratos impression. Careful, he might come back with a brush and go hey Bosch. Easy Bosch. And the like. If he brings a saddle, just give up.